So we did this set, which is kind of a go as far as you can go set, as a battle of the sexes between the boys and the girls on my team. And we were in this kind of rut of the season. We were needing to get some poppy power speed training going, and my kids were just a little flat, and I needed to repackage how I was presenting things to them. So we did this set where all I wanted them to do, and I have to credit Jordan Beck in Houston, Texas for this set. All I wanted them to do was sprint as long as they possibly could and hold race pace as long as they could. So we weren't doing 25s, we weren't doing 50s. It was, here's 100 yards. Sprint as long as you can until you start to lose speed, and then shut it down. Just make sure you don't get in other people's way. And the way we did it was we kind of had an end of year goal in mind, and then we had a practice goal in mind. So maybe if Bud Fly's 100 breaststroke goal at the end of the year was a 59.90. Maybe his practice goal from a push was a 103.7. And, his 25 split would be a 16.5, or excuse me, a 103 from a start. It would be a 108 from a push. So, 16.5 for a 25, 33 for a 50, 50 for a 75, and then 108 for 100. And the goal was, go as long as you can. If you feel yourself kind of crap out right around 85 yards, don't swim poorly to 100 yards. We want you to be, high quality without the volume metric. We want you to choose and strategize and have some autonomy with this set. And all you have to do on this tab is put in the gender and the swimmer names, and then the stroke and their goal times. And then over here, we had these printable scorecards where a boy would be partnered with a girl, and the boy would have a stopwatch and would take a split at the 25. And he would cross-reference to see, did they get their 25 split? Yes or no? And then they check at the 50 mark. Did they get their 50 split? Yes or no? Did they get their 75 split? Yes or no? Let's say they got their 75 but didn't get the 100. Then they would put a check mark on the 75. And we put this into a scoreboard where we would check off how far each swimmer got, and it correlated to points. So for Bud Fly, let's say that he got all the way to the 100 on his first sprint. That was 16 points. Let's say he only got to the 75 on the next one. That's worth 8 points. So his average is 12. And then maybe on the third one, he got back to 16. So we're calculating their average score. We don't care really about time. I'm not collecting times here. I'm collecting, how far into that 100 were they able to hold their race pace. And then up here, it's going to calculate the girls and the boys' average. And, our girls, for everything said about girls not having as great of a competitive drive as boys on average, our girls smoked our boys. We were going to do this set 3 days in a row, and it was going to be best out of 3. And our girls rocked the first day. And then the boys were all hyped up, and our girls beat them by even more the second day. And then it also calculates a full team average. So that's something where we can say, hey, if girls win, they're off practice. If boys win, they're off practice. If our team's average score is 8, they get up practice off tomorrow as well. So just more ways to kind of incentivize and make things into a game and give kids a way that they get a score that's not indicative of being the fastest on the team or going a certain time. This is going to be something that's way less threatening for our swimmers. There's also a leaderboard that's going to put, all of our girls in order, who's our girls MVP, who is our boys MVP, and then an overall leaderboard of who was our fastest this day and who was who had the a struggle day that I might need to go through and, work with that swimmer individually and give them some attention they need.